you know what? I was all set to 100% retract everything that I had said in my previous Last of Us 2 video until I saw this one comment. Hello everyone, I am still Mecha Random 42. That is a spaceship that I'm trying to contact and hail. I'm waiting for it to arrive. I am the one, the only, your favorite YouTube consumer advocate, Harpy. And what are we talking about today? Well, this is going to be an update on the Last of Us 2 video that I dropped today that I recorded for my live stream on 4th of July. So if you guys do like my content, like, subscribe, share. Every like matters. Every sub gets my undying gratitude. Oh, again, I'm misspeaking. You're just going to have to get me for it. There has been all of this issue going around of some of the messages that the voice actress who plays the very, very unpopular character Abby in The Last of Us 2 has been getting. Now, I'm not trying to make light of any of this. As somebody who's been on the receiving end of quite a few of these, obviously, that's a big deal. We don't condone doing that. Nobody ever condones doing any of that. And I was all set to retract a lot of this. Shout out to Nerdette's Newsstand, first off, for pointing out that, and you did call me out in the comments. You're like, oh, hey, are you going to retract? Yeah, I will. She says that somebody has come out and apologized for these messages. All right. The other thing I want to point out that people like Jack Peterino and Cynical Lindsay in my comment section, shout out to you guys, have also said that, yeah, these seem to be, the messages that we're talking about here seem to be from her Instagram DMs. So those I have no knowledge of. I've never used Instagram. I've never actually dealt with that at all. Don't have an account there. I don't know if those can be closed or not. So there's where my confusion is, only dealing with Twitter, and you can just close that entirely, because after some of the Brie Larson videos I've made over the years, oh yeah, I had to close my DMs real quick because of the criticism I've gotten. And here's the thing. I'm getting some of the same backlash for this video that I just dropped this afternoon. Exactly the same time, only it's coming in my comment section. And right now it's going to be pretty much the same sort of thing where here's the thing in the realm of the whole SJW anti-toxic fan. Oh, you're just a toxic fan. You're a toxic fan. They like to use shaming tactics. Now, what do I mean by, in the very beginning of the video, you said I was all set to retract it until I saw a comment. Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a second. Now, I do want to go through and say, I just watched Jeremy's video from Geeks and Gamers. Shout out to him. He's talking about how Neil Druckman is using this to get at the fans, to basically say, hey, look how horrible you fans are. You guys are a bunch of toxic fans, to throw shade at the people that they want to presume are bad people, right? The people who are critical of the game, in other words. The people who are critical of the game, and they take the one or two cherry-picked, most disgusting comments, and they did this with Ghostbusters 2016. They did this every time. They did this with anytime you find somebody critical of something that is marketed as and used as this giant game of Wokemon that they like to do. You know, they like to have all their representation, diversity, all that crap, all that garbage, right? And I didn't want my video to make it seem like I thought light of this, but I did want to point out the fact that they use these tactics, whether they're legit or not, just to paint this message, right? Just to paint this. And they use that. And this is why I was questioning if some of them were even legit or not, if they weren't just some intern screwing around with her, just somebody in the company's dime, or somebody with the intention of getting some publicity. Because whether they did it on purpose or not, that's exactly what they're doing. They're using this to gain publicity for it. They're using this just to come at the fans who were critical. And I was all set to retract everything I had said in the previous video as an uninformed, uninterested rant. You know, I didn't care about talking about Last of Us 2. I didn't plan on making a lot of Last of Us 2 videos until people like Jeremy and people like RK Outpost, Ryan Cannell, my friends, colleagues on YouTube, Az from Heel vs. Babyface, these people started getting their channels silenced and struck, and Lethal Lightning and Mara Jade, all all of these people were getting their channels silenced and struck, not claimed, but struck, so they couldn't live stream actual harmful things on their channels because they were critical of this character, because they were critical of this game, because they were critical of the leaks and the spoilers that were coming out. And even though a lot of these channels didn't even use footage at all, like what Jeremy's talking about here, that's when I jumped into the fight. I did not want to talk about this game. Now, here is where we're getting to with this. Why do I keep stressing that I didn't even want to talk about this game and don't care about it? Well, because I was all set to retract everything I said until I saw the one comment that really stood out, and I'm gonna embiggen it for you guys so you can really see it here. This one comment on my video: "You're still whining about The Last of Us Part 2 instead of the threats these people are getting about some stupid video game. Where are your priorities? Where are your priorities?" Oh, my priorities? Where are my priorities? Really? Where are your priorities? How dare you try and shame me into not jumping on board with your narrative? How dare you come in with an account who has clearly never seen my channel, never watched one single Last of Us 2. If you had, you would know that I don't whine about this game. I don't care about this game. I am laughing at it from the outside, and I go in and talk about my friends getting their channels hurt. That's what I do. I talk about my colleagues on YouTube, the people I consider my peers and friends. There's no other way to put it, getting their channels attacked from this. That is when I jumped in and started calling out this stuff and bringing more of a broader attention and more eyes to it. I don't care about the game. This is why I think this is just a bunch of marketing and crap just to jump on people. And this is what's going to happen. Anybody who's critical of this, they're going to get these sort of comments without having any... This guy's never watched a video I've made of The Last of Us 2, because if he did, he would know. Every time I say, I don't like these games. I don't like the AAA zombie shooters. And I know it's not a zombie shooter, and I know people are going to get me for that one. But that's the whole point, right? Not only that, this is a typical SJW tactic. This is the typical tactic that these people always use when they're trying to shame somebody, when they're trying to guilt somebody. Oh, those toxic fans! Oh, those toxic fandom menace people! Those people who say stunning and brave. We're mocking you for saying it, right? So this is what we get all the time. You're going to shun you and shame you into apologizing for something that you never did. And that's another thing. I never said I didn't care that she was getting these, right? I never, and if it came across that way, then I probably misspoke. Obviously, nobody wants anybody to get these. Nobody wants and condones this. Like, seriously, you can only say that so many times, right? Nobody wants or condones any of these things for any people. And the fact that they're using this right now, and that they're getting on with these accounts and these handles and these comments with just to shame me for it. Seriously, now Neil Druckman's using that just to get at us for marketing. That's all I see of this. I saw this coming in from Forbes. I saw this coming in from everywhere. They're getting press for their game to paint themselves as this victim narrative. And if you don't jump on board with it, you are guilted and shamed. And I see this time and time again. These are the same people who get on my butt for not being, oh, you're not woke. Why? You'll never be woke with an attitude like that. I don't want to be. I'd rather be awakened and enlightened to some of these things. I mean, why would you want to be woke?
Open your mind.
When you can be enlightened and awakened to some of these things. And the fact that I got this random comment that has nothing to do with anything that I've ever said about this video game, right? They seem to think I'm whining about the story of the game, which I don't care about. They seem to think that I'm whining about the fact that you have to play as characters that you're supposedly attached to, that I have absolutely no attachment to, which is why I didn't buy this game in the first place, and I didn't buy the last one either. And the fact that I have my ex's copy that he played for about 9 hours and never went back to is about as much interest in this game as I have. So the fact that we get this sort of a message just makes me further believe, and this is why I'm not retracting it 100%, other than here's the new information that I have, is that we get these sort of accounts with their fake information and their fake message and their fake narrative just to guilt people into being on that side, just to guilt people. Where are your priorities? Well, my priorities, and here's how I responded. Terraria, where they've always been. I don't care about The Last of Us 2. I don't like making videos on it. Sorry. And I don't like the AAA zombie shooters made by horrible companies. I didn't play the first game and don't believe that those messages are from any of the people that are actually critical of the game. Sorry if my misinformed reactionary rant at a game I'm tired of hearing about isn't to your liking. I assure you will have plenty of Brie Larson videos on my channel coming soon. Also, I've had threats from these bot accounts because of the Brie Larson videos. So this is it. They come at you with these little fake messages, and I'm probably going to see a whole lot more of these. And if my DMs were open, I would probably get a few more of these. So here you go. Bots and marketing accounts always use that kind of tactic to either attack critics or silence or create a false victim narrative. You will not shame me or guilt me into something that I am not guilty of, nor will you pressure me into caring in a way that I gotta add to this, in a way that is pre-approved by you. You know, I care, obviously. If she feels threatened, obviously, I'm not trying to say I don't care about that. But I don't buy the fact that they're just now using this to market their game. Are you serious? You're using this to get extra attention, to get extra sympathy, to get extra pity. And the fact that Neil Druckman is going out of his way to retweet that. And the fact that all these articles and sites and all these things are out there with that information. So that's where my position is. And the fact that I'm getting those sort of comments make me think, oh, there's something a little bit more to this. They might have the interns on these. They might have the marketing accounts out there. They might have a little bit more than meets the eye on these. There might be a little bit more going on than what the average person is seeing. So yeah, okay, so apparently, to sum up, if it is in her Instagram, okay, I can retract that. That was my first reaction. That was my first response. We all make mistakes. If it is legit, obviously, nobody wants that or condones that. Obviously, I feel sorry if she is in distress for this, obviously. But seriously, don't use this just to paint us as the bad guys because you lied to us about the game. And you lied to us again and again. And you know, I'm going to link, I probably already have, link Jeremy's video in the description or in the tags and the pins or whatever. So you can definitely check his out too. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. I am MechaRandom42, and you know what? If I make a mistake, I do try to admit it anyway. I'll see you guys later. Bye. And of course, I made a mistake with my end cards not popping up, so I gotta do it manually. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye!